Chosen one, watch before the season changes. God is warning you. Before this season changes, you are being pulled into a divine alert, a whisper from God louder than thunder for those who have ears to hear. Something is shifting. A new hour is preparing to dawn. This isn't just a calendar season. This is a destiny season. A divine climate is changing around your life. God is drawing your attention not because you are in danger, but because He is protecting something He planted within you long ago. And before the next move unfolds, He wants you awake, aware, and anointed to act. Watch this video until the end. Your obedience to listen, your willingness to open your spirit fully right now, is the very response that unlocks the blessings waiting to pour over you. And write your warmest wishes in the comments and type the number 777. This is not just interaction, this is intention. This is an energetic agreement, a signal to the universe that your desire is active, your belief is alive, and your manifestation is accelerating. Let's awaken what's been waiting. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Chosen one, you have felt it, a strange unease, a silence that speaks volumes, the kind of spiritual pressure that isn't chaotic but prophetic. There's a holy hush over your atmosphere, because heaven is watching how you respond in this moment. And here's what the Spirit is saying. Pay attention before the change happens, because after the shift, the outcome will not be based on what you did during the change, but what you saw before it came. God is not just warning you out of concern, He is aligning you through clarity. This warning is a gift. There are times when warnings feel like roadblocks. They slow you down, they make you question, but that's the point. Divine warnings aren't there to terrify you, they're there to turn you. They're not meant to destroy your confidence, they're meant to direct your obedience. And right now, before the season changes, God is issuing a holy caution. Don't carry the old version of you into a season that doesn't recognize it. That's why things have been shaking. That's why relationships are not aligning the way they once did. That's why ideas that once thrilled your spirit now feel empty, because the season is about to change. And God refuses to let you misplace your purpose by staying comfortable in an expired environment. Listen, chosen one, comfort zones are attractive, but they are also deceptive. They trick you into staying when the Spirit is calling you to shift. You are standing at a prophetic intersection right now, one foot in where you've been, and the other trembling on the edge of where you're called to go. And here's the key. What you see now determines what you receive next. So the divine instruction is clear. Watch, observe, discern the subtle signs. Look for what God is doing in places people aren't even noticing. Because those who see early are those who move accurately. Don't ignore the signs, the sudden delays, the strange dreams, the repeated numbers, the unexplainable burdens. All of these are signals. They are God's way of calling your attention back to center. He's trying to recalibrate your internal compass because the external terrain is about to shift quickly. You will not have time to figure it out later. You must be rooted in now. The enemy's biggest tactic in moments like these is distraction. To fill your schedule so full of minor matters that you miss major movement. But this message finds you at just the right time, because heaven has marked your life for precision, not confusion. And when you watch closely, you will begin to realize that the things you thought were falling apart were actually falling into place. There is a door closing, but that's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a better chapter. But you must watch with spiritual eyes, because not everything that looks good in this season will grow good in the next. This is a pruning moment, and God is not asking for your permission to cut what doesn't belong. He's asking for your trust. You see, the warning is not just about the external environment, It's also about the inner you. There is a version of you, one forged in pain, doubt, survival, and hesitation, that cannot cross over into the territory of your true calling. God is not trying to shame that version. He's trying to bury it, because the new season you're walking into demands clarity, confidence, and conviction. This is why everything feels so intense, because you are in the final minutes of one timeline and the early seconds of a new reality. And in this overlap, God is testing your vision. Will you keep looking back, or will you finally decide to watch forward? The shift won't wait. The blessings that belong to the next season won't pause for your hesitation. But here's the good news. You are already equipped. You are already enough. And you are already chosen to navigate what's coming next. All you must do is watch and obey. God is not calling you to predict the future. He's calling you to position yourself before it arrives. That means healing before the wound reopens, forgiving before the offense comes, preparing before the opportunity shows up, watching before the season changes, because when it does, the door will be wide, but it won't be open forever. Some of the people around you will miss this shift, not because they're bad, but because they're blind. They refuse to see what's coming, but you, chosen one, are different. You feel the trembling in the spiritual soil. You sense the urgency in your gut. You know that something massive is preparing to touch down in your life, and that's why God is warning you now. You're not being punished, you're being promoted. But all promotions require preparation. You can't carry yesterday's mindset into tomorrow's movement. You can't carry fear into a season ruled by favor. And you can't carry excuses into a season driven by excellence. That's why this message came right on time. It's your confirmation, it's your announcement, and it's your invitation. Watch your habits, watch your thoughts, watch your surroundings, because the new season is not waiting for you to be comfortable. It's demanding that you be courageous, and courage doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you're willing to follow God, even when the map hasn't fully loaded. It means saying yes, even when your voice is shaking. It means showing up when nobody claps. It means trusting what He told you in private, even when nothing in public confirms it yet. The greatest transitions don't begin with action, they begin with awareness, and that's what you're being gifted with right now. Awareness, holy alertness, a sharpened gaze, the kind of spiritual focus that makes you unstoppable because you see the shift coming before the world does. You are being activated right now, not just to witness the season change, but to thrive inside it. This is not the time to delay, not the time to explain yourself to people who were never meant to understand, not the time to compromise your calling to keep others comfortable. No, this is the moment to move differently, to pray boldly, to act intentionally, to believe wildly, because before the season changes, God wants your faith fully active. Your next level is waiting, not just financially, not just relationally, but spiritually. The peace you've been craving is already being released. The answers you've been praying for are already in transit, but you must see it before you hold it. You must believe it before you build it. You must watch before you walk through the new door. Keep your eyes fixed, your posture ready, your spirit open. Because the season is changing, and God wants you ahead of the curve, ahead of the chaos, ahead of the crowd. This is not for the faint of heart, but you were never built to blend in. You were built to lead the shift. Chosen one. When God says watch, it's never casual. It's not entertainment. It's an urgent spiritual instruction. It means sharpen your senses, hold your breath if you must, brace your soul, because something is approaching you that others cannot see. But heaven has already approved. What's about to unfold is bigger than your past. And what's trying to reach you needs a version of you that's awake, alert, and aligned. This is not the time to be spiritually sleepy. This is not the hour to be distracted by low-level drama or cyclical emotional loops that serve no purpose. This is the time to look up, tune in, and rise beyond confusion. What's changing isn't just your physical season, it's your spiritual authority. And when spiritual authority increases, responsibility follows. The reason the warning feels so heavy is because your calling is about to get louder. You're not just stepping into blessing, you're stepping into visibility. You're stepping into divine notice. You're stepping into a room that was always yours, but required a divine escort to enter. Before the season changes, God is pruning you of everything that could corrupt the promise. Yes, the delay hurt. Yes, the silence was long, but what God preserved during your waiting season is now your proof. Proof that you were protected, that you were selected, that you were hidden, not forgotten. God hid you because premature exposure would have been spiritual sabotage, but that season of hiding is closing. The curtain is lifting. The atmosphere is preparing to announce your arrival, not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a divine, undeniable one. The spotlight won't be artificial, it will be appointed, and the only thing God asks is that you stay watching, because what's about to land will require your total focus. Watch how your name begins to show up in rooms you've never walked into. Watch how closed doors suddenly swing open, not because of your effort, but because of your endurance. Watch how strangers begin to confirm what you've secretly believed for years. You didn't imagine it. Chosen one. That dream you've been carrying wasn't fantasy, it was foresight. But God is saying, don't try to run ahead of my instruction. Let me lead you. Let me guide the next step. You just watch. This season isn't about striving. It's about surrendering while staying alert. The blessings that are chasing you now will require less pushing and more position. And in this refining process, things will be removed, people will be revealed, assignments will be shifted. This is the divine reshuffle before the reveal, and if you're not watching, you'll mislabel the blessing as loss. Do not be afraid of what leaves. Some things are leaving because they were never part of the new blueprint. Some connections were comfort-based, not covenant-based. Some opportunities looked like elevation, but were really detours wrapped in glitter. That's why God is giving you fresh eyes before the season changes, to protect you, to strengthen you, to prepare you. You've already outgrown some environments, but you're still standing there out of habit. Watch that. You're still engaging certain conversations out of familiarity, but your spirit feels misaligned. Watch that. You're still doing tasks that feel safe, but deep down, you know your gift is suffocating. Watch that. These aren't random feelings, they are divine prompts to get ready. Get ready to move. Get ready to say no. Get ready to be uncomfortable, because the new season will not feel like the last. It will demand more from you, but it will also reward you beyond your imagination. You've been praying for change. Now the shift has arrived, but it's wrapped in divine instruction. Watch first, move second. Watch your patterns, the ones that quietly keep sabotaging your potential. That mental script you repeat when you're afraid. That narrative that convinces you to shrink instead of shine. You don't need permission to break the old pattern. You need revelation that it no longer belongs in your next season. And that revelation begins with watching how you think. Watch your motives. Not everything that's good is God. You must discern what you're doing for attention versus what you're doing out of assignment. Some moves are ego, others are elevation, some steps are noise, others are divine nudges. Ask yourself, am I trying to prove something to people, or am I responding to the whisper of heaven? The season is shifting, and with it, God is calling you into emotional maturity. No more emotional reactions when He's asking for strategic responses. No more breakdowns over people who were never meant to go the distance. No more wasting energy arguing with opinions when you're meant to be executing your purpose. God's warning isn't about fear, it's about focus. He's asking you to elevate your standards, to silence distractions, to protect your time, to guard your peace, to lean in with deeper discernment. Why? Because the harvest is ready. But only those who watched the field beforehand will know where to reap. There are financial doors that are about to open, but if you're not watching, you will underestimate them. You will mistake divine opportunity for coincidence. You will delay action because you didn't prepare. That's why God is showing you the signs early. So you don't just walk through the door, you own what's on the other side. The relationships coming into your life in this next chapter won't be based on convenience. They'll be based on calling. You won't need to chase them. You won't need to perform to keep them. They'll show up because you were watching and they were sent. No more forcing, no more begging, no more settling for what drains you. Chosen one, your role in this next move of God is to witness the warning and walk wisely. You are no longer who you used to be, and this is not just another phase. This is a prophetic pivot, a before and after moment, and how you steward this warning will shape what God entrusts you with next. Watch your hunger. Don't let spiritual laziness dull your edge. Stay sharp, stay fed, stay curious, stay open to learning. There are mysteries about your destiny that God is about to unfold, but He won't hand them to those who are indifferent. He will reveal them to those who watch with wonder, who say, "Lord, show me more, I'm ready." Watch your schedule, make room for miracles, cut out what's unnecessary. If your life is too cluttered, the blessings won't have room to land. Some of your greatest breakthroughs will come in the stillness, in the silence, in the early hours, when nobody else is watching. But heaven sees your attention. That's where clarity will be birthed. Watch how people begin to sense something different in you, not because you changed your look, but because your spirit shifted. You'll walk into rooms carrying peace that confuses people, joy that isn't circumstantial, confidence that isn't arrogance. It's assignment awareness. You know who you are now, you know what you carry, and that knowing becomes a magnet. God's warning isn't just about what's coming, it's about who you're becoming, and you are becoming bold. You are becoming clear, you are becoming consistent, and as you step into this transformation, nothing will stop the favor chasing you down. Chosen one, God is not just asking you to watch for what's around you, He's training you to see what's within you, because this coming shift isn't simply about new things appearing in your life, it's about the real you appearing to the world. The you who was hidden under past pain, the you who was disguised beneath self-doubt, the you who was buried under people's opinions. That version is breaking free. But freedom comes with awareness. You cannot activate what you don't recognize. You cannot manage what you won't acknowledge, and you cannot steward what you refuse to see. This is why the season is shifting so aggressively. It's meant to bring your identity into focus. You were never meant to stay in that survival mentality. That was temporary training. But the time for hiding is over. The time for wondering if you're ready is over. The time for shrinking back is over. God is warning you not because He doubts your power, but because He's about to increase it. And with increased power comes spiritual responsibility. You can no longer operate on autopilot. You can no longer numb your awareness with distractions. You've been too chosen for too long to keep pretending you're average. You're not here to blend in with the season. You're here to shift the season. This is why your atmosphere is changing. This is why old friendships feel strained, why familiar places feel distant, why you feel like you're grieving something you can't name. Because you're not losing something, you're shedding something. You're shedding the version of yourself that tolerated too much, settled too often, and expected too little. That version isn't bad, it was necessary, but it's no longer required. The warning from heaven is loud. Don't delay the transition. There's a grace on your life right now for rapid transformation, but grace is not guaranteed in the same way forever. When a door opens by divine timing, it is your responsibility to walk through it. If you hesitate, you risk losing the alignment that was crafted for this very moment. And this moment is rare. You've prayed for it. Now it's here. Don't miss it while waiting for comfort. Don't fumble it because you are waiting for approval.